So, let's start our journey in this small, buzzing hive. It seems like a simple story, all about a little creature with a really big lesson to teach us.
And here's the thing. This isn't just about a bee. It's about you. It's about me. Because every single challenge, every goal, every dream we chase, it all starts with the very same principles our little bee is about to figure out. This story, really, it's like a mirror.
All right, so let's meet our first guide on this little journey. His story is just a beautiful example of how the smallest, most consistent efforts can build something truly amazing. It's all about the power of small steps.
So meet Buzz. Buzz was this bee who just loved the sweet life, you know? He'd spend all his nectar the second he got it. But then a problem hit. The hive needed him, and he had nothing to give. A wise old bee gave him some super simple advice. Just save a little bit every single day. And man, it was hard for him. But slowly, little by little, his tiny dewdrop bank started to fill up. And when the time came, Buzz didn't just help out. He felt this incredible pride he'd never experienced before. He literally built his future one drop at a time.
Okay, so Buzz's story is a great start, right? But let's be real. Life throws stuff at us that's way more complicated than a sweet tooth. What do you do when the whole world feels like it's the obstacle?
And that question, well, that brings us right to the core of this whole thing. See, before we can even think about changing what's happening around us, we've got to change the one thing we actually have total control over, our own mind.
It all boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful idea. Stop complaining and start acting. Think about it. Complaining just drains your battery, right? It takes all your energy, but acting, that's what creates change. The real shift, the real power, happens the moment we decide to make that choice.
It's not just a small tweak. It's about a total shift in how you see things. Instead of blaming other people, you take responsibility. Instead of getting stuck on the problems, you focus on finding solutions. You either find a way to fix it or you learn to accept it. That's it. Real success, real progress, it's born from this mindset of action.
Okay, so let's see this mindset in the real world, especially when it feels like every single door is slamming shut and the world is just screaming no. Let's talk about some true stories of people who just refused to listen.
1,009. That number, it's not random. That's roughly how many times one man was told no before he finally heard a single yes. Can you even wrap your head around that? Over 1,000 rejections?
And that man was Colonel Harlan Sanders. I mean, get this. He finds his passion in his 40s, right? Then he loses his entire business in his 60s. At 65 years old, with pretty much nothing to his name, he didn't quit. He believed in his chicken recipe so much that he started driving across the country, sleeping in his car, and begging restaurants to just try it. After more than 1,000 no's, one person, finally said yes. And by the time he was 73, there were over 600 restaurants. It's proof that it is never, ever too late.
And look at this. This is such a powerful way to reframe what we call failure. Steve Jobs, the guy gets publicly fired from Apple, the company he built from the ground up. For most of us, that's game over. But for him, it was a brand new beginning. He went on to create Pixar and totally change animation forever. He started another company called Next, and then, when Apple brought him back, he gave us the iPhone. It just goes to show you, sometimes the most crushing no is actually pushing you toward an even bigger, more incredible yes.
So, we've talked about professional setbacks, right? But what about the really deep wounds? The stuff from our past that can feel, well, impossible to get over. This is where we get to our final and maybe most important lesson.
Turn your wounds into wisdom. Wow, that's from Oprah Winfrey, and it just perfectly sets the stage for our most profound story of resilience yet. It's this incredible idea that our deepest pain can actually become our greatest strength, but only if we choose to let it. It's like alchemy, you know? Turning pain into power.
Just look at this contrast. It's staggering. Born into poverty, a survivor of horrific childhood abuse, told over and over that she would never, ever succeed. But Oprah completely refused to let her past write her future. She used her voice, she believed in herself, and she transformed those terrible wounds into wisdom. She didn't just become a billionaire, she became a global symbol of hope. She is living proof that where you come from has absolutely nothing to do with where you're capable of going. So we've heard these amazing stories, right? From a tiny little bee to these global icons.
But now the spotlight turns to the most important story of all, yours. So how do we take all these lessons and actually apply them to our own lives starting right now?
Okay, let's break it down. These are your keys to resilience. First, consistency. Remember Buzz the Bee? Those small daily actions really do matter. Next, mindset. Take action, don't just complain. That's the rule. Then, persistence. Channel the spirit of Colonel Sanders when you're facing rejection after rejection. And perspective. See failure as a new beginning, just like Steve Jobs did. And finally, transformation. Know this with every fiber of your being. Like Oprah, your past does not define you. These are your tools.
Remember, after 1,000 no's, Colonel Sanders got one yes. It's such a powerful reminder that you don't need the whole world to believe in you. You just need to keep going until you find that one person, that one opportunity that changes everything. And you know what? A lot of the time, that very first yes has to come from you. So think about it. Maybe the success you've been dreaming of is waiting for you right on the other side of the failure you're so scared of. It could be just one more try away, one more email, one more call, one more attempt. So the question is, what will you try next?